There are seasons in your life when everything seems to unfold so slowly that your heart begins to grow weary. You look at doors that have not yet opened, at prayers that still remain unanswered, and you wonder whether I am delaying the good things meant for you. But my beloved child, I want you to understand that my silence has never been a sign of forgetfulness. Some seeds must lie deep in the soil through many dark days before they become strong enough to rise toward the light. If a farmer dug up the seed every day just to check whether it had sprouted, that very impatience would destroy the life forming within it. In the same way, many things I am doing in your soul cannot grow in the midst of confusion and haste. Be still and know that I am God. As Psalm 46:10 says, that stillness is not an empty pause, but the place where your faith learns to take root deeper than passing emotions. I see the nights when you try to appear strong while inside you are full of unanswered questions. There are times when you smile in front of others, yet when you are alone, your heart trembles with fear about tomorrow. But, my child, do not be ashamed of that weakness. It is precisely in the moments when you no longer have the strength to hold yourself up that my arms can embrace you most completely. Remember the prophet Elijah after he defeated the prophets of Baal on Mount Carmel. A man who had seen fire fall from heaven still reached a point of such exhaustion that he wanted to give up in the wilderness. But I did not rebuke him. I gave him rest, bread, and water, then gently called him to rise and continue the journey. I am doing the same with you. I do not require you to be perfect at all times in order to be worthy of love. He gives strength to the weary and increases the power of the weak. As Isaiah 40:29 says, my love does not leave you because you are tired. On the contrary, it is in that very moment that I draw even closer to your soul. There will come a time when you realize that many things you once saw as obstacles were actually my quiet protection. Some doors, if opened too soon, would lead you into places your heart was not yet mature enough to enter. Some things you prayed for with tears, if I had given them to you at that moment, would have become burdens instead of blessings. That is why I have led you through seasons of learning patience, learning to trust even when the outcome has not yet appeared before your eyes. Remember Joseph in the prison of Egypt. Those years of being forgotten were not useless. It was in that darkness that I taught him wisdom, endurance, and humility, so that when the appointed time came, he would not only receive authority but also have the strength to carry a great responsibility. You, too, are not only being prepared for a blessing, I am preparing you for that blessing. And in all things, I want you not to lose the tenderness of your heart. The world often makes you think that in order to survive, you must become so hardened that you no longer know how to feel. But true light is not born from callousness. It is born from a soul that still knows how to love in the midst of wounds. Perhaps you have been betrayed, misunderstood, and have given sincerity only to receive coldness in return. But do not let those things turn you into someone closed off from love. Blessed are the merciful, for they will be shown mercy. As Matthew 5:7 says, each time you choose forgiveness instead of nurturing bitterness, heaven opens another stream of healing within your heart. Forgiveness does not mean that you minimize the wound. Forgiveness is when you place judgment into my hands so that your soul may be free from the burden of hatred. My beloved child, there is one thing I want to engrave deeply upon your heart. Your worth is not found in how quickly you achieve anything, nor in the way others see you. You do not need to compete or struggle to prove that you are worthy of love. Long before you accomplished anything, I had already called you precious. I have called you by your name. You are mine. As Isaiah 43:1 says, when you understand this, your heart will stop chasing the approval of the world. You will learn to walk in peace even when no one applauds you. For a soul that knows it is loved no longer lives like a beggar, trying to gather its worth from the eyes of others. Look at the story of the widow at Zarephath. When famine covered the land, she had only a handful of flour and a little oil left for herself and her son. Yet, in the midst of that lack, she still dared to believe the word I spoke through the prophet Elijah. And then the miracle happened. The jar of flour was not used up, and the jug of oil did not run dry throughout the season of famine. Do you see? Miracles do not always begin with abundance. Many times, they are born from a faith that dares to offer the very last portion it has. There are times when you think you are too small to make a difference, but I do not need you to possess much. What I seek is a heart willing to place what it has into my hands with trust. Now, I want you to continue into the days ahead with a lighter soul. Do not carry fear like a chain around your feet. Do not let the past keep telling you that you are not good enough or unworthy of the beautiful future I have prepared. I am opening a new season before you, where peace will be greater than confusion, where hope will be stronger than painful memories. You may not yet see the whole path, but you do not need to see it all in order to keep walking. A shepherd leads his sheep one step at a time, and the sheep rest secure not because they know the entire route, but because they know who is leading them. Your word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path. As Psalm 119:105 says, so today, let your soul rest in my love. Let the tears that once fell become water that refreshes the field of your future. Let the seasons of waiting teach you how to take deeper root in faith. And as you continue walking with a tender heart, you will realize that I have never forgotten a single one of your prayers. Everything I have allowed to happen is being woven together into a beautiful picture beyond what you can understand today. One day, when you look back on the journey you have walked, you will smile through tears and understand that even the roads that once seemed darkest were filled with the footprints of my love beside you. There are homes that appear whole from the outside, yet inside they hold heavy silences that no one knows how to name. Careless words, repeated wounds, cold glances, and quiet weariness accumulated over the years can slowly dry up your soul. I know there have been times when you wondered why you should continue being gentle when others have not changed, why you should remain patient when your own heart is full of scratches. But, my beloved child, light does not appear because darkness deserves to be illuminated. Light exists because that is its nature. And I have placed within you the ability to become such a source of light in your very own home. You are the light of the world. As Matthew 5:14 says, that light does not need to be loud in order to prove its presence. As long as you keep choosing love instead of bitterness, keep choosing tenderness instead of responding with hurt, the whole atmosphere around you will gradually begin to change. Do not think that the small things you do each day are meaningless. A gentle word spoken when someone else is angry can stop a great storm from forming. One moment of silence to avoid hurting one another further can save an entire night from tears. A quiet act of sacrifice can become a seed of healing for a whole family. The world often celebrates the grand and visible things, but I look at the hidden places within the human heart. I see every time you swallow your tears to preserve peace for everyone. I see the moments when you choose to pray in silence instead of letting anger control you. And I do not overlook a single sacrifice. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called children of God. As Matthew 5:9 says, a peacemaker is not someone who has never been wounded. It is someone who chooses not to let their wounds create more darkness. Remember the story of Hagar in the wilderness. Rejected and cast aside, she wandered through the barren desert carrying her child with a heart filled with despair. There were moments when she no longer had the strength to look toward the future. Yet in the middle of that wilderness, I opened her eyes to see that the well of water had been there all along. In the same way, there are times when under the pressures within your home. You feel as though all hope has dried up, but I want you to understand that my presence has never left your family. There are streams of healing waiting to be opened through your prayers, through your humility, through your decision to keep loving even when your emotions are exhausted. Never underestimate the power of a soul that knows how to bow before me, before reacting to people. I know there are days when you are exhausted as well. There are times when you long to be understood by others, instead of always being the one who must keep trying first. There are nights when your heart feels unbearably heavy because you feel you are carrying too much. But in those very moments, I want you to draw closer to me instead of closing your heart. For if you try to love only through your own strength, your soul will quickly run dry. But when you allow me to touch the deepest wounded places within your heart, I will renew you from the inside out. Come to me, all who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. As Matthew 11:28 says, "My peace is not reserved only for the days when everything is going well. It was created to sustain you in the midst of your fiercest storms." There is a kind of peace that the world cannot create through money, success, or control. It does not depend on whether the people around you have become perfect or not. True peace comes when your soul knows that even while circumstances remain chaotic, I am still reigning. Just as Jesus slept peacefully in the boat during the great storm, his presence was greater than the raging waves around him. The disciples trembled in fear because they thought they were about to sink. Yet with only one word from him, the sea became calm. Do you see? The miracle does not begin when the sea stops raging. The miracle begins when you realize who is with you in the boat. Peace I leave with you. My peace I give to you. I do not give to you as the world gives. As John 14:27 says, that peace is not a thin layer of paint covering anxiety. It is a solid rock that keeps your soul standing firm through every shaking. And then, little by little, as you continue choosing forgiveness instead of nurturing resentment, choosing to build instead of destroy, your home will gradually become a place where life is poured out. Not because every person within it is perfect, but because there are souls who have decided to open the door for my light to enter. A true home is not held together merely by bricks or rooftops. It is sustained by sacrificial love, by quiet prayers, by mercy repeated through the ordinary days of life. And wherever there are people willing to let me reign within their hearts, there I do not merely visit as a guest. I remain as the source of life, as the breath of peace covering every room, every meal, and every soul living beneath that roof. So today, my beloved child, do not despair over the imperfections around you. Do not think that your quiet efforts go unseen. Every gentle word you hold back when you could have answered with bitterness. Every time you choose prayer instead of argument. Every tear you offer to me in silence. All of these are becoming stones that build a spiritual wall around your family. And I am there, watching, sustaining, and renewing your strength day by day. One day, when you look back, you will realize that it was those small acts of love, repeated faithfully in silence, that became the greatest miracle, keeping your home from being consumed by darkness. My beloved child, many times you think peace will come when every problem disappears, when the people around you change, when life stops placing pressure upon your shoulders. But true peace is not born from a perfect world. If you place your hope in outward comfort and convenience, your soul will always tremble like water stirred by every small wind. I never promised that you would live without storms, but I did promise that in the midst of every storm, you would never walk alone. You will keep in perfect peace those whose minds are steadfast, because they trust in you. As Isaiah 26:3 says, peace is not a reward for those who can control everything. It is a gift for those who know how to surrender control back into my hands. There are winds you cannot stop, words that wound the heart, unexpected events, anxieties that quietly enter the mind when night falls. All these things sometimes come without warning. But my child, even if you cannot control the wind, you can still decide what is allowed to remain within your soul. A house stands firm not because it has never faced storms, but because its foundation is built upon rock. In the same way, when your heart is anchored in me, the chaos outside will not easily destroy you from within. There are doors within the soul that must be closed to bitterness, to fear, to voices that make you forget to whom you belong. And every time you invite me deeper into your heart, I will help you guard those doors with my gentle yet powerful presence. Remember the story of Noah in the midst of a corrupt and chaotic generation, when the whole world was filled with violence and darkness. I called him to build the ark before anyone had ever seen rain. People mocked him because they did not understand what I was preparing. Yet that quiet obedience became the very place of protection for his family when the floodwaters rose. In the same way, every time you choose to build your life upon my word instead of unstable emotions, you are building a spiritual ark for your soul. And when the seasons of storms come, you will discover that the peace I give is not fragile or easily shattered. It is a true refuge for your heart. I know there are days when your mind is filled with tangled thoughts you do not even know how to name. There are times when you seem to smile and speak normally with others, while inside you are exhausted to the point of collapse. Worries about the future, memories that have not yet healed, pressures no one else can see, all of them pile upon your soul like waves crashing one after another. But my beloved child, I am not afraid of the chaos within you. I do not turn away when I see the dark corners you try to hide. It is precisely in the places where you are weakest that I desire to enter most powerfully. When the disciples panicked in the middle of the stormy sea, Jesus did not jump out of the boat and abandon them. He stood up and spoke to the wind and the waves, saying, "Peace, be still." And immediately the sea became calm. I desire to speak those same words over your mind today. The storms around you may not stop at once, but the raging sea within your heart can become still through my presence. You do not need to wait until everything is settled before you begin living in peace. If you wait for perfect circumstances, you will keep delaying the rest I want to give you today. Peace begins with very simple things. A morning when you open your heart to me instead of opening the new day with worry. A moment under pressure when you lift your eyes to seek me instead of letting fear pull you down. An evening when you still speak words of gratitude even though you have not yet seen the full answer. It is within these small things that your soul learns to abide in me. Cast all your anxiety on him because he cares for you. As 1 Peter 5:7 says, when you truly believe that I am caring for you, your heart will stop straining to save itself. And then, little by little, you will realize that an invisible protection is covering your life. Not every danger disappears, but there is a greater hand keeping you from being swallowed by darkness. I am not a watchman who grows weary easily. I do not fall asleep in the long nights of your life. He who watches over Israel will neither slumber nor sleep. As Psalm 121:4 says, there are spiritual battles you cannot see, but I see them all. There are things that seek to enter your heart through fear, despair, and bitterness. But when you allow me to stand at the door of your heart, darkness will no longer be free to move through your soul. Yet I also give you the right to choose. I do not break down the door to enter. I wait for you to open your heart willingly, for there are things that cannot invade unless you agree to let them remain. Do not nurture thoughts that draw you away from my light. Do not hold on to wounds until they become a dwelling place for bitterness. Each time you choose forgiveness, choose trust, and choose to return to me in the midst of chaos, you are closing the door to darkness and opening wide the door for life to enter. My beloved child, the peace I give is not a thin mist that disappears when the sun grows hot. It is a deep river flowing through every season of your life. Perhaps today you still do not understand the whole road ahead, but you do not need to understand everything in order to have peace. You only need to know that I am with you. And when I am there in the nights when you cannot sleep, in the days when you feel far too weak, in the moments when the whole world around you seems to shake, your soul can still stand firm. Not because you are strong, but because I am the unshakable rock beneath your feet. My beloved child, there are seasons when I do not urge you to run faster, nor do I place burdens upon your shoulders that leave your soul exhausted. Instead, I lead you with the gentleness of morning light, so that you may learn again the rhythm of peace and trust. For many times, the world teaches you to become accustomed to always rushing, always fearing that you are falling behind others, always straining to hold everything together. But my child, a river does not struggle to become a river. It simply follows the current I have appointed for it. And because of that, it carries life wherever it passes. I want you to walk in the same way, not in panic, not in heaviness, but steadfast in the faith that my hand is quietly guiding your life. Commit your way to the Lord, trust in Him, and He will do this. As Psalm 37:5 says, when you truly surrender your heart to me, you will stop living like someone always afraid of losing tomorrow, and begin living like someone who knows they are being led by eternal love. I am opening before you doors that you once never noticed. There are opportunities hidden within the most ordinary encounters. There are seeds of blessing lying inside the small things you once overlooked. When your soul is at peace, your eyes will begin to see more clearly the goodness I place around you each day. A word of encouragement you offer to someone may become the light that saves a heart drowning in despair. A quiet act of kindness may open an entire journey of healing for another person. Do not think that I work only through grand and extraordinary things. Many of my miracles begin with simple gestures carried out through sincere love. Remember the boy who brought 5 loaves and 2 fish. In human eyes, it was far too little to make a difference. But once placed into my hands, it became nourishment for thousands. You are the same. My beloved child, what I seek is not your perfection or abundance. I seek a heart willing to open itself and trust me. There is a spiritual secret that many people do not understand. A hand that is always clenched cannot receive anything more. That is why I teach you to open your hands, not only to give, but also to receive. Open hands are a sign of trust. It is when you stop trying to control every outcome and allow me the freedom to move within your life. When you open your heart before me, grace will flow into your soul like gentle rain, watering dry ground. Give, and it will be given to you. A good measure, pressed down, shaken together and running over, will be poured into your lap. As Luke 6:38 says, I do not want you to live with the mindset of fearing lack. I want you to understand that the one who places their life into my hands will always have enough to love, enough to share, and enough to continue sowing goodness into the world. Remember the poor widow in the temple long ago. While many wealthy people offered from their abundance, she had only 2 small coins. But I saw what the crowd could not see. She gave with all her heart, and that was what made her small offering precious in the sight of heaven. My beloved child, I do not measure the value of your life by what you possess, but by the love and sincerity you place into what you do. A soul that knows how to live generously will always remain fresh, like a tree planted beside flowing waters. For the more you give in love, the more you make room for my grace to continue pouring into your life. Then there will come days when you begin to feel a new breath of life touching your heart. Thoughts that once felt unbearably heavy will start to grow lighter. Worries that once wrapped themselves tightly around your mind will no longer hold the same power over you. That is when my Spirit is quietly renewing you from within. I want to teach you to love sacred stillness, the place where the noise of the world no longer pulls you away, where your soul can rest and hear my voice more clearly. It is in that stillness that I sift through the chaos within you, heal wounds that have never been named, and plant within you a new vision for life. Be still before the Lord and wait patiently for Him. As Psalm 37:7 says, some things can only be seen clearly when your soul is no longer restless. When gratitude becomes the daily breath of your life, a joy deeper than temporary emotions will begin to grow within you. You will stop looking only at what you do not yet have, and begin to recognize the countless mercies quietly surrounding your life. The sunlight shining through the window each morning, a person who still remains beside you, a new opportunity appearing after many days that once seemed hopeless, a small peace that is enough to keep your heart standing firm. All these things are traces of my love walking with you. Give thanks in all circumstances. As 1 Thessalonians 5:18 says, a grateful soul is not easily swallowed by darkness, because it continues to see light even on the cloudiest days. And little by little, step by step, you will begin to realize that you are changing, not the kind of change that loudly demands the attention of the world, but a deep transformation growing quietly from within. Your heart will become softer, yet stronger. The way you look at others will become filled with greater compassion. Your understanding will grow clearer in the choices you face in life. You will no longer walk like someone lost in the currents of the world, but like one who knows they are being guided. Just as Enoch of old walked with God, you too will learn how to walk each day with the awareness that I am beside you in every journey. And it is that presence that will keep you steady even through seasons of change. So today, my beloved child, do not be afraid to open your heart to my grace. Do not keep your soul closed in upon itself because of old wounds. Let me lead you into a new season with a lighter spirit and open hands. I am placing before you not only opportunities to receive, but also opportunities to become a blessing to others. And as you walk in love, in gratitude, and in that gentle trust, you will discover that your life is gradually becoming like a river of peace, quiet yet full of life, gentle yet strong enough to refresh the souls I place along your path. My beloved child, I do not seek from you the grand things the world so often praises. I do not wait until you stand upon some high mountain before drawing near to you. What delights my heart is when you know how to turn even the most ordinary moments into places where your soul meets my love. Some people think worship exists only in songs rising from crowded sanctuaries. But I want you to understand that true worship begins in the quietest things. A word of gratitude you speak as the morning sun begins to rise. A slow breath in the middle of a busy day as you remember that I am still with you. A gentle look you offer to someone who is weary. All these things rise before me like a sweet fragrance. Whether therefore you eat or drink or whatsoever you do, do all to the glory of God. As 1 Corinthians 10:31 says, when you live with such a heart, every ordinary moment becomes touched by wonder. I cherish small things done with sincere love, far more than loud things empty of true devotion. A dining table prepared with gentle care can become a place of healing for weary souls. A cup of water given with kindness can carry more of heaven's warmth than the most eloquent words. Do not think the things you do each day are too ordinary for me to notice. I see them all. I see how you strive to remain gentle, even when your heart is under pressure. I see the brief prayers you whisper when no one else knows, and I place my blessing upon each of those moments. Remember the woman who poured perfume upon the feet of Jesus. Others saw the act as wasteful and insignificant, but I saw the deep love poured out with every drop of oil. It was that love that made an ordinary moment something remembered forever. My beloved child, there will be times when I draw your soul into places of deep stillness, not so that you will be lonely, but so that you may learn again how to hear my voice in a world overflowing with noise. There are things that can only be heard when the heart grows quiet, just as a lake reflects the sky clearly, only when its waters become still. Your soul will see my light more clearly when you learn to rest in my presence. Be still and know that I am God. As Psalm 46:10 says, I do not always speak to you through dramatic things. Many times I come like a gentle whisper brushing across your soul. Just as on the day the prophet Elijah stood at the mouth of the cave, after the mighty wind, after the earthquake, and after the fire, it was the still small voice that revealed my presence. I want you to recognize me in such gentle moments as these in the morning sunlight, in the sudden peace that settles over your heart, in the feeling of being loved even when no words are spoken. There is one thing I want to teach you so that your soul may always keep that gentle light. Learn to see grace in every day you live. Many people look only at what has not yet happened, and so their hearts easily become dry and weary. But those who remember small mercies will keep a tender heart before life. That is why I want you to learn to hold on to the good things I am quietly sowing along your journey. An encounter that brings peace, a word that strengthens you at the right moment, a day when you overcome a sadness you once thought you could never get through. These things are not accidental. They are the footprints of my love walking with you each day. Remember, when the people of Israel journeyed through the wilderness, I commanded them to keep a jar of manna as a testimony, so that future generations would remember how I had nourished them in the barren place. In the same way, when you preserve those small blessings, your soul will not easily forget that I am always faithful. Then, day by day, that gratitude will transform the way you live. The small corner where you work will no longer be merely a place to earn a living, but a place where you sow faithfulness and integrity. The kitchen where you prepare meals will no longer be merely a place of repeated tasks, but a place where love is given through simple things. An ordinary conversation can also become a doorway of healing for someone if you listen with gentleness. Let all that you do be done in love. As 1 Corinthians 16:14 says, when love is present, even the simplest things begin to carry the breath of heaven. My beloved child, I do not want worship to be only a passing moment in your day. I want it to become the heartbeat of your life. When you walk, work, rest, or love others with the awareness that I am with you, you are living in the flow of grace. And then you will feel a very deep change within. Your breathing becomes lighter, your mind clearer, your heart gentler, not because every pressure disappears immediately, but because your soul has found its true anchor. Abide in me, and I in you. As John 15:4 says, this is not merely an invitation, it is the secret of a full and abundant life. I also want you to remember that the peace you carry within you will touch those around you. A soul resting in me is like a lamp placed in a dark room. It does not need to try to draw attention, yet it still shines quietly. Your family will feel that gentle coolness. Those who enter your life will feel strengthened, even if they do not always understand why. For wherever kindness is present, I am there. Wherever there is gentleness and truth, heaven is touching the earth. So today, my beloved child, do not take the ordinary moments of your life lightly. It is within the small things repeated each day that I am quietly building a sanctuary within you. And one day, when you look back on the journey you have walked, you will realize that your life has become a gentle song of worship, not only through sung words, but through every loving gesture, every grateful breath, and every peaceful step you have taken with me along the long road. My beloved child, there are seasons in life when your soul senses something very difficult to name. Everything seems to be shifting towards something brighter, lighter, and more aligned. Not because every circumstance changes immediately, but because deep within you, a profound peace begins to appear like dawn, slowly spreading across a mist-covered lake. That is when I am leading you into a new season of grace. Those who are awake in spirit will recognize these gentle signs. They do not only see with their eyes, they also perceive with their souls. A clarity appears in places that were once uncertain. A quiet hope grows even before the whole path ahead is visible. A strange sense of steadiness rises in the midst of change. See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? As Isaiah 43:19 says, I always announce a new season with very gentle knocks upon the door of your heart. But in order to hear those gentle knocks, you must learn again the art of listening. The world around you is filled with so many voices that the soul can easily become restless and confused. There are voices that pull you into fear, thoughts that leave you feeling lost, and pressures that make you forget which voice is mine. That is why I want to teach you the 3 streams that will keep your heart clear and awake. Listen to my word. Listen to the deep places within your own soul. And listen to the people of sincere love whom I have placed around you. When these 3 voices flow together as one, you will sense a confirmation within your spirit that is both gentle and steady. My sheep hear my voice. I know them, and they follow me. As John 10:27 says, I do not lead you through confusion or force. I lead you through a peace that is clear and certain. Remember the boy Samuel in the temple long ago. In the stillness of the night, I called his name, yet he did not recognize my voice. Only after several times, with the guidance of the priest Eli, did Samuel learn to answer, Speak, Lord, for your servant is listening. In the same way, my beloved child, there have been many moments when I have whispered to you through very small things that you did not yet recognize. A verse of scripture speaking directly into the place where you needed it most. An encouraging word unexpectedly arriving at the exact moment your soul felt weak. A door opening gently after many days that seemed completely closed. These are not coincidences. They are signs I place along your path to remind you that I am still leading you. Do not underestimate those small confirmations. Hold them carefully as one would guard precious seeds during the planting season. Perhaps today you still do not understand the entire picture. But each small sign will help your heart remain steady during the days when the outcome is not yet visible. When the people of Israel journeyed through the wilderness, I did not reveal the whole path to them at once. I led them day by day with a pillar of cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night. They only needed to follow the sign I placed before them in order to continue walking. In the same way, I do not require you to understand your entire future before you can live in peace. I simply invite you to trust the light I am giving you for today. Awareness is not only the ability to recognize what I am opening before you, it is also the ability to pause long enough to see the beauty I am placing within the present moment. Many people rush so desperately toward tomorrow that they miss the grace of today. But my beloved child, it is in the present that I am shaping your heart, healing your soul, and preparing you for a new season. A peaceful morning, a conversation that leaves your heart lighter, a moment when you stand beside a window and see sunlight covering the world in gold. These things may seem small, yet they are teaching your soul how to live within my presence. This is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. As Psalm 118:24 says, a person who knows how to rejoice in the present will not easily be overtaken by anxiety about the future. Then, when your heart truly becomes awake, you will begin to notice a new longing growing within you. not the pressure to strive in order to be loved, but a natural desire to draw closer to me. True love always awakens the soul to respond. You will find yourself wanting to take another step in obedience, wanting to open your heart wider to goodness, wanting to live more gently toward the people around you. And I delight in seeing each of those small yeses bloom within your spirit. To the world, they may seem like very ordinary decisions, forgiving instead of holding on to bitterness, continuing to hope instead of surrendering, choosing faithfulness in small things instead of chasing greatness. But before my eyes, every one of those yeses is a seed full of life. Remember Mary, the young woman of Nazareth, when the angel announced something far beyond human understanding. She could not see the entire path that lay ahead of her, yet she answered with a simple response, "Let it be unto me according to your word." That humble yes opened the door for a miracle that would change the world. Do you see? I do not always begin with grand and mighty things. Most often, I begin with a heart willing to trust, even without seeing everything clearly. My beloved child, do not be afraid of your small steps. A door does not open because someone violently forces it all at once. It opens when a gentle hand touches the handle at the right moment. I am leading you in the same way. Every time you say yes to the light, I will open another part of the road before you. Every time you choose trust instead of doubt, your heart will grow stronger without losing its tenderness. And then you will discover that responding to me is no longer a burden. It becomes a deep joy within your soul. So today, my beloved child, remain spiritually awake, but do not live in tension. I do not want you to spend your days anxiously trying to interpret every sign perfectly. I want you to walk like a child holding the hand of their father, peaceful, gentle, and full of trust. When you stay close to me, my voice will become clearer and clearer to you. And in that gentle companionship, the rhythm of your life will gradually flow into my timing, like a river flowing into the sea without force, without confusion, only filled with peace and light. My beloved child, I do not want you to live your days in constant strain and heaviness. As though every morning you wake up is another battle, you must force yourself to survive. I want to teach you a different rhythm of life, lighter, deeper, and filled with my presence. Great transformations do not always begin with the sound of thunder. Many begin through very small acts repeated faithfully in love. Just as water is gentle yet powerful enough to smooth stone over time, the simple practices you sow into your daily life will gradually transform your soul from within. Therefore, my beloved child, learn to open your hands before me each morning. This is not merely a movement of the body, it is the silent language of a soul saying, "I trust you. Father, I am ready to receive the peace and light you have prepared for me today." When you begin the new day with that surrender, your mind will no longer rush into worry before the sun is even fully risen. Instead of waking with the feeling that you must struggle against life, you will gradually learn to step into each day as though entering a garden I have prepared for you. A small word of gratitude in the morning can change the entire rhythm of a long day. This is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. As Psalm 118:24 says, "The one who begins the day with gratitude will not easily be swallowed by the darkness of anxiety, because light has already been kindled within their soul." Then, amid the busy hours of the day, I want you to remember to pause for a moment and return to my presence. Some people allow themselves to be swept away by work, pressure, and noise until they forget that the soul also needs to breathe. But my child, I did not create you to live like a machine, always running until it is exhausted. Even Jesus, in the midst of the crowd seeking him, often withdrew to lonely places to pray and rest in the presence of the Father. You need those sacred pauses too. Just one deep breath in peace. Just one moment of closing your eyes and remembering that I am with you can be enough to renew your heart. Be still before the Lord and wait patiently for Him. As Psalm 37:7 says, that stillness does not take time away from you. It saves your soul from running dry. Remember Mary, who sat at the Lord's feet and listened while many other things were making people busy. Many people think value is measured by how much they accomplish in a day. But I look deeper into the condition of the soul. Mary chose the better portion, because she understood that a heart close to me will produce lasting life far more than any hurried effort. I am inviting you to live in the same way, not lazily or passively, but wisely pausing at the right moments so your heart does not lose touch with the source of life. When evening comes, I want you to practice looking back on the day with gentle eyes instead of being harsh with yourself. Many people end the day only by counting what remains unfinished, then carry disappointment into their sleep. But I want you to learn to recognize the small blessings that have passed through your life. A conversation that made your heart lighter, a clear idea that came at just the right time, a smile you received in the middle of a long and tiring day, a small step forward that you once thought you could never take. Hold on to these things as one guards precious jewels. When the people of Israel traveled through the wilderness, I caused manna to fall each day so they would learn that I was always faithful to care for them. Your journal of blessings will also become like grains of manna, helping your soul remember that I have never forgotten you. You will be surprised to see how these small practices gradually change the way you are present in life. When your heart becomes more peaceful, your words also become gentler. You no longer react with the same anger or haste as before, because your soul has learned how to rest in me. A gentle answer turns away wrath. As Proverbs 15:1 says, a person who carries peace within will know how to listen without rushing to judge, and how to speak the truth without causing harm. And then the relationships around you will begin to change as well. Others will feel respected when they are near you. Conversations that once easily became tense will grow softer. For the presence of a soul resting in me is always like a cool breeze passing through a suffocating room. I want you to understand that spiritual maturity does not mean becoming a person without emotions, but learning how to let your emotions be guided by light instead of darkness. When you live close to me, you will know when to move forward, when to pause, and when to rest in order to renew your soul. You no longer have to strain yourself trying to control everything. Your stability does not come from your own strength, but from knowing that you are standing upon grace. Just as a tree planted beside flowing waters does not struggle desperately to remain green, but simply takes root in the right place, your soul will also bear fruit naturally when you abide in me. Blessed is the one who trusts in the Lord. They will be like a tree planted by the waters. As Jeremiah 17:7-8 says, then, day by day, you will realize that surrender is no longer a difficult decision. It becomes your way of life. You walk more lightly, yet not weak, more gentle, yet not fragile, more peaceful, yet still full of life. And wherever you go, you will leave behind something beautiful, a warmth difficult to describe, a sense of being uplifted, a fragrance of life itself. Not because you are trying to impress others, but because my presence is naturally shining through your life. You are the fragrance of Christ. As 2 Corinthians 2:15 says, I want your life to become that gentle fragrance in this weary world. So today, my beloved child, continue opening your hands before me with the simplicity of a child trusting their father. Let those small daily practices become streams that nourish your soul. And one day, when you look back, you will realize that it was those ordinary moments lived in my presence that quietly transformed your entire life into a garden filled with light, peace, and gentle life. My beloved child, when your soul learns the clarity of stillness and begins to walk in the gentle discipline of joy, everything within you starts to be rearranged in a wonderful way. I do not transform you through harsh force, but through the quiet current of peace flowing through every thought, every habit, and every rhythm of your daily life. There were seasons when your mind felt like a room filled with forgotten things, too many voices crowding together, too many worries piled up, too many unfinished plans, leaving your heart weary. But when you allow me to enter and help you put things in order, everything gradually becomes clearer. Each thought is placed in its rightful place. Each priority is rearranged with wisdom, and your soul begins to feel lighter, like a room whose windows have just been thrown open for sunlight to pour in. For God is not a God of confusion, but of peace. As 1 Corinthians 14:33 says, "Wherever my presence truly dwells, chaos slowly gives way to harmony." You will begin to notice that the rhythm of your life is no longer driven by haste. In the past, there were times when you wanted everything to happen immediately because you feared being delayed or missing out. But now, I am teaching you the beauty of divine timing. There are doors that must open at once, and there are also seasons that require peaceful waiting. Those who live close to me will learn this beautiful art, knowing when to step forward as I open the way, and knowing when to rest quietly as I gently slow their hearts. To everything there is a season, and a time for every purpose under heaven. As Ecclesiastes 3:1 says, "When you stop forcing time to move according to your own desires, your soul will no longer grow weary from fighting against the things I am tenderly arranging for you." Remember Nehemiah when he was given the task of rebuilding the walls of Jerusalem? That great work was not completed through chaos or haste, but through focus, prayer, and unity of spirit. Each person held their place. Each stone was set where it belonged, and every small part joined together to form a strong wall. In the same way, I am bringing the right pieces into your life at the proper time. The right companions, healthy opportunities, and beautiful ideas will come when your heart is peaceful enough to recognize them. Do not fear that what is meant for you will somehow be lost. When you walk in, my light, I know how to bring every piece into its rightful place. There is a deep beauty in those who work from joy rather than from fear. When you stop allowing pressure to rule you, the creativity within you will begin to expand. New ideas will come gently, like the breeze of early morning. A heart that knows how to rest in me no longer does everything through strain and force, but through the natural flow of life. Remember Bezalel, the craftsman whom I filled with my spirit to create the intricate works of the tabernacle. His skill did not come only from ability, but from the wisdom and inspiration I placed within him. I am doing the same with you. The gifts you carry are not accidental. They are seeds I planted long ago so that one day they would bloom in their appointed season. And then, as your heart becomes more peaceful, the way you carry yourself among others will also begin to change. You will no longer enter relationships with defensiveness or tension. Your eyes will become gentler, your words more uplifting, and the way you listen will make others feel respected and safe. Let your speech always be gracious. As Colossians 4:6 says, a person who carries peace within naturally spreads that peace around them. You will notice conversations becoming more sincere, collaborations being built on trust instead of competition, and the atmosphere around you growing warm, like a garden filled with morning sunlight. I want you to see something very beautiful. Gentleness does not make you weak. On the contrary, it is the sign of strength that has been refined. A truly strong person does not need harshness to prove their worth. You will learn how to be decisive while remaining gentle, steadfast without becoming hardened, focused without losing your joy. Just as Jesus could sleep peacefully in the middle of a storm and still possess the authority to command the waves into silence. I want you to carry that same quiet strength within you. Learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart. As Matthew 11:29 says, true peace does not make you passive, it makes you strong without losing your loving heart. The fresh wind I am breathing across your life will also change the way you see the world. In the past, perhaps your eyes were drawn easily to what was lacking, to what was imperfect, or to the doors that still remained closed. But when the eyes of your soul are opened, you will begin to see opportunities for love everywhere around you. A person who needs to be heard, a soul waiting for a word of encouragement, a small act you can do to bring hope to someone else. And when you live with that perspective, life will no longer revolve around the question, what can I receive? But will become a journey of asking, what can I give? Remember the Good Samaritan by the roadside. While many others passed by in haste, one man stopped because his heart was still able to be moved by another person's pain. My beloved child, I want to keep your heart that soft in a world that so easily becomes cold. When you see all things through the light of love, every decision you make will carry life within it. You will choose to slow down and listen instead of merely reacting. You will choose the good of others instead of seeking only your own advantage. And because of that, peace will follow your footsteps, like clear water flowing through a dry garden. I am leading you with threads of love that are delicate yet unbreakably strong. There may be many moments when you do not fully understand the way I am arranging things. But step by step you will begin to see how everything is being woven together beautifully. The experiences of your past, the lessons you have walked through, the people I have allowed you to meet, all of them are forming the unique tapestry of your life. And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him. As Romans 8:28 says, nothing I allow to happen is without meaning. So today, my beloved child, continue walking with that gentle spirit. Do not return to the old haste or to the burden of trying to prove yourself. I am making your life beautiful in a very unique way, not the loud kind of beauty that astonishes the world for a moment, but the lasting beauty of a soul that has learned the rhythm of heaven's peace. And as you continue walking in that rhythm, you will discover that it is your rest in me that makes you radiant more than anything else ever could. My beloved child, the peace I give you is not like the fragile calm the world tries to create through favorable circumstances or temporary outward things. Some people believe that if everything simply goes according to their plans, then their hearts will finally rest. Yet one contrary wind is enough to shake their minds. True peace is not built upon things that easily change. It is born from my own heart, where there is no darkness of fear, no chaos of doubt, only the gentle light of everlasting love. Peace I leave with you, my peace I give to you. I do not give to you as the world gives. As John 14:27 says, therefore, when you allow my peace to remain within your soul, you will realize that there is a solid rock beneath you, holding you steady through every shifting season of life. I want you to learn how to guard that peace, like someone protecting a small flame on a cold night. Do not let the noise of anxiety or haste extinguish the gentleness I am planting within your heart. There are delicate things that can only be perceived when your soul becomes quiet enough to listen, just as a lake reflects the sky only when its waters are still. Your mind will also see the path clearly when your heart is no longer disturbed by fear. I know there are moments when you want everything to happen more quickly, more clearly. But my beloved child, the things that endure always require time to grow deep roots. A great tree does not mature overnight. It grows silently beneath the soil before its branches rise toward the light. In the same way, I am deepening the roots of your soul so that when the winds come, you will not be uprooted by temporary things. Remember the sower in the parable Jesus told. The seed that fell on good soil did not bear fruit instantly, but grew quietly through days and seasons. I am planting within you seeds of wisdom, kindness, and spiritual strength, and peace is the soil that allows those seeds to grow strong. A person who lives in peace does not feel compelled to prove themselves through noise and display. They grow quietly, yet firmly. Like a tree planted beside flowing waters that remains green even through long seasons of drought. They will be like a tree planted by the waters. Its leaves are always green. As Jeremiah 17:8 says, I want you to become such a tree, not living only for yourself, but also giving shade to weary souls who come near you. My beloved child, when true peace begins to reign within your heart, wisdom will start to bloom naturally, not the cold wisdom that only knows how to calculate for personal gain, but the gentle discernment that understands what nurtures love and what causes the soul to wither. There are people who speak many words, yet bring no life. But those who walk in peace often do not need to draw attention to themselves. Their very presence is enough to bring safety and clarity to others. Remember King Solomon when he asked me for an understanding heart to govern the people with justice. He did not ask first for power or riches. He asked for wisdom. And because his heart sought what pleased me, I added many other things to his life as well. In the same way, when you place peace and love above hurried ambition, wisdom will be added to your life like gentle sunlight spreading across a field after the morning mist. I want you to look at others through eyes that have been purified by peace. When your heart is restless, you easily see people through the lens of suspicion, defensiveness, or comparison. But when my peace reigns within your soul, your vision will become gentler. You will begin to see the dignity in those around you, instead of focusing only on their flaws. You will learn to listen instead of merely reacting. Show perfect gentleness toward all people. As Titus 3:2 says, a truly strong person is not the one who always wins every argument, but the one who keeps their gentleness in the midst of life's collisions. Peace will also change the way you see yourself. There were seasons when you were far too harsh toward yourself, looking only at what you had not yet achieved, while forgetting the many graces I had already planted within you. But I do not look at you with eyes of condemnation. I see the beautiful seeds growing day by day. I see the faithfulness you have kept through difficult seasons. I see the times you rose again after weariness. I see the gentleness you fought to preserve even after being wounded. And I want you to learn how to see yourself in the light of that truth. You are precious in my sight, and I love you. As Isaiah 43:4 says, when you learn to treasure what I have placed within you, you will stop living under the pressure of trying to become someone else. Then, from that peace, your decisions will also become clearer and more pure. You will no longer be swept away by the hurried rhythm of the world. You will learn the beauty of waiting for the right season. Some good things do not need to be fought for. They will come when their season has ripened. I am teaching you how to place each choice upon the foundation of love instead of fear. What nourishes life, you will keep close. What drains your soul, you will gently release, just as a shepherd leads the flock to green pastures and still waters. I am also leading you to places where your soul can be restored. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. As Psalm 23:2-3 says, my beloved child, every time you choose to walk in peace instead of haste, wisdom within you grows a little deeper. Every time you say yes to what is good, the road before you becomes a little brighter. I am quietly smoothing the rough places within your heart so that you may walk more lightly and yet more firmly. Perhaps you still cannot see the entire picture I am painting, but day by day you will realize that everything I lead you into is moving toward life and lasting growth. So today, my beloved child, continue abiding in my peace. Do not allow yourself to be pulled into the world's frantic pace. Let your soul grow like a garden nurtured by light, living water, and time. I do not need you to bloom quickly. I want you to take deep roots. And then, in the right season, you will see your life bear fruit, naturally, the fruits of love, wisdom, gentleness, and joy. And when that day comes, your very presence will become a living testimony that the most beautiful growth always begins with a heart that knows how to rest in me. My beloved child, I do not build the sanctuary within you through displays meant to impress or through radiant moments that appear only once in a while. I build it through the very ordinary rhythms of life that you offer to me with love and awareness. Some people think they can meet me only when they enter a sacred place. But I want you to understand that I delight in being with you in the midst of your everyday life. I am present in the whispered gratitude you offer while the dawn is still gentle. I am in the kind look you give to a loved one when both of you are weary. I am in the moment when you truly pause to listen to another soul instead of rushing to answer. Whatever you do, work at it with all your heart, as working for the Lord. As Colossians 3:23 says, when you live with this awareness, every small thing becomes a shining stone, building the sanctuary of your soul. I want you to understand that sanctification does not mean separating you from life, but filling your very life with my light. The desk where you once saw only responsibility can now become a place where faithfulness and creativity are sown. The family meal can become a table of communion and healing. The familiar road you walk each day can also become a journey where I speak with your soul through very gentle things. Remember Jacob, who slept in a desolate place with a stone for his pillow. When he awoke, he cried out, "Surely the Lord is in this place," and I was not aware of it. In the same way, my beloved child, there have been countless times when I was very near to you, in ordinary moments you had not yet recognized. I am not waiting for you only in deep hours of prayer. I want to. Then there will come a moment when you realize that the light within that sanctuary has begun to shine outward around you. Those who enter your life will feel comforted, even when you have not spoken anything remarkable. The atmosphere around you becomes gentler because your heart has learned how to rest in me. Just as Moses descended from the mountain with his face reflecting light after being near God, your life too will carry the gentle reflection of my presence. Not a light that overwhelms, but a light that makes others feel peaceful and loved. My beloved child, do not underestimate the simple things you are doing today. It is within those quiet rhythms of life that I am building a dwelling place for, my presence within you. And day by day, that inner sanctuary will become wider, brighter, and more full of life. Though there may be seasons of strong winds and uncertain changes outside, within you there will remain a place of peace that cannot easily be shaken, the place where you and I meet in love, where the light never goes out, where hope continues to burn gently through the longest night. My beloved child, when my grace has opened a new path within your soul, and peace has been laid as the foundation beneath your feet, I begin a deeper work, a complete renewal from within. I do not heal only one small corner of your life while leaving the rest dry and empty. What I desire is to renew your whole being, like a garden restored after a long and bitter winter. That renewal does not always come through dramatic moments that everyone notices immediately. It comes quietly, like dawn slowly spreading across a dark sky, like a seed silently sprouting beneath the soil before emerging into green life. Behold, I am making all things new. As Revelation 21:5 says, this is not merely a promise for some distant future. It is the work I am already doing within you right now. You will begin to feel changes that are gentle, yet undeniably real. The things that once weighed heavily upon your mind will no longer hold the same power over you. Your body will stop carrying the constant feeling of exhaustion because the soul within you has found its source of life again. Your mind will become clearer in the midst of decisions. Your heart will become softer toward others and gentler toward yourself. I am removing layer after layer of weariness that built up during the seasons when you forced yourself to fight through life alone. There were burdens you carried for so long that you began to believe they were part of who you were. But I want you to know that I did not create you to live forever in exhaustion. Come to me, all who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. As Matthew 11:28 says, "The rest I give does not touch only the soul. It reaches even into your body and the way you carry yourself through life." Remember the prophet Elijah after his long and exhausting journey through the wilderness? He lay down beneath the broom tree and asked to die because he no longer had the strength to continue. Yet I did not rebuke him for that weakness. I sent an angel with bread and water, allowed him to rest, and then gently awakened him to continue the journey. Do you see? Sometimes spiritual restoration begins with very simple things: peaceful sleep, a deep breath, a soul finally permitted to rest in my love. I am caring for you in the same way. I am not forcing you to be strong according to the standards of the world. I am teaching you another kind of strength, the strength that knows how to rest in me. And from that place, walk forward with greater endurance. My beloved child, the strength I give is not the kind of energy that drives you forward in constant haste until you collapse. It is like a quiet river that never ceases to flow. There are people who live by pressure alone, and so their minds remain tense, while their bodies slowly wear away. But those who receive renewal from me will walk with a gentle endurance. Those who wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall soar on wings like eagles. As Isaiah 40:31 says, I do not promise that you will never grow tired, but I promise that I will renew you whenever you return to my living source. And as I renew your soul, the relationships around you will also begin to change. A healed heart loves differently. You will no longer enter relationships carrying the same heavy defensiveness or fear of being hurt. The peace within you will make your words softer, your eyes gentler, and the way you listen more sincere. Clothe yourselves with compassion, kindness, humility, gentleness, and patience. As Colossians 3:12 says, I am teaching you to love others not through strained effort, but through the natural flow of a love that has already been healed within you. You will begin to realize that many things which once caused you to shrink back no longer seem as frightening as before. Not because circumstances have become perfect, but because I am making the strength within you more steady. Just as David stood before Goliath, his strength did not come from his stature or armor, but from the confidence that I was with him. In the same way, I am teaching you to walk not with the anxiety of having to manage everything on your own, but with the quiet assurance that you are never alone on this journey. I want you to understand that true renewal always begins at the roots, not merely at the surface. There are people who try to change their lives by forcing themselves to do more, move faster, and become stronger. Yet their souls remain dry because the source within them has never been healed. But I am different. I reach into the deepest places within you, the places where old wounds still remain, where silent fears once ruled your thoughts, where negative words about yourself were allowed to take root, and I replace them with the light of truth. If anyone is in Christ, they are a new creation. As 2 Corinthians 5:17 says, I am not merely repairing you, I am making you new. Then, day by day, you will begin to feel a very different kind of joy growing within your heart. Not the short-lived joy that depends upon circumstances, but the joy of someone who knows they are living according to what I created them to become. You will work with a spirit of service instead of the pressure to prove your worth. You will rest without feeling guilty. You will learn to care for your body as the gift I have given you, instead of forcing it to endure endlessly without pause. And within that new rhythm of life, creativity, perseverance, and clarity will naturally begin to flourish. My beloved child, I have not called you into a life of heaviness and constant strain. I have called you into abundant life, a place where body, mind, and soul move together in harmony within my light, like a tree planted beside flowing waters. You will not need to struggle endlessly to bear fruit. When your roots remain in me, life will naturally flow through you. And then, those who enter your life will feel that freshness, like thirsty travelers discovering cool water on a scorching summer day. So today, my beloved child, allow me to continue this work of renewal within you. Do not fear the slow process of healing and restoration. Spring does not arrive overnight, but when it comes, the entire garden awakens into new life. I am doing the same with your life, and day by day, you will realize that you are entering into a life that is lighter, brighter, and more full of life, not because you have become perfect, but because my love is quietly renewing everything from the deepest roots within you. My beloved child, I want you to quiet your heart and listen carefully to what I am speaking over your life today. The long season of heaviness and waiting is no longer the place where you must remain forever. A new chapter is opening through my gentle yet powerful light. This is not happening by accident, nor because you have become strong enough to pull yourself out of darkness on your own. It is the result of my hand quietly working through all the seasons when you thought only silence surrounded you. For I know the plans I have for you, plans for peace and not for harm, to give you a future and a hope. As Jeremiah 29:11 says, I have never written the ending of your life in despair. I have always prepared a path leading you into the light. There were nights when you lay down with a heart full of questions. There were times when you tried to appear strong before others, while inside you wanted only to surrender because of weariness. You wondered why your prayers seemed unanswered, why I remained silent for so long, while you quietly held back your tears. But my beloved child, my silence has never meant that I abandoned you. When a seed lies deep within the soil, people assume nothing is happening. Yet it is precisely there that life is being formed most powerfully. I am doing the same thing with your life. During the days that seemed motionless, I was arranging every piece with a wisdom beyond what your eyes could see. Remember Joseph in the prison of Egypt. Those years appeared to be the end of the dream I had once placed within his heart. Yet it was in that dark place that I prepared him for the robe of honor and the greater responsibility ahead. If Joseph had been elevated too early, his heart might not yet have been mature enough to carry what I intended to give him. In the same way, my beloved child, seasons of trial are not proof that I have forgotten you. They are the time in which I deepen the roots of your faith, refine your heart, and teach you to walk not merely by what your eyes can see, but by trust. Now I want you to understand that the pressure you have just walked through was not a sign of failure, but the labor pains before a new season. Just as a woman endures pain before bringing forth new life, your soul has also passed through difficult days in preparation for something greater that is coming. Some old doors had to close so that new doors could open. Some burdens had to be removed so that your hands would be light enough to receive the blessings I am giving you. See, I have set before you an open door that no one can shut. As Revelation 3:8 says, what I have ordained for your life will not be stopped by fear, by the past, or by any power of darkness. My beloved child, I have seen every time you continued praying, even while your heart was weary. I saw the days when you stood firm with nothing but a small remnant of faith left within you. I saw the moments when you chose not to give up even though you could not fully understand what I was doing. And none of it was wasted. Every tear you have sown is becoming water that will nourish the new season I am preparing to open before you. Those who sow in tears shall reap with songs of joy. As Psalm 126:5 says, I have not forgotten your faithfulness during the days when no one else could see the battles you were fighting. Now, as this new season begins to unfold, you will first feel the change within yourself. Your mind will grow lighter. The fears that once tightened their grip around your soul will gradually lose their power. Peace will come like morning sunlight shining through a window after a long night. Not every problem will disappear in a single moment, but you will know that you are no longer walking beneath the shadow of despair. I am leading you out of the land of exhaustion and into the land of restoration. Remember the people of Israel when they stood before the Red Sea. Before them was the sea. Behind them was the enemy. And everything seemed to have reached a dead end. Yet in that very moment, that appeared to be the end. I opened a path through the depths of the sea where none had existed before. In the same way, there have been moments when you thought your life had reached its limit. But I am the one who can make a way where you believe there is only a closed road. What you call an ending is often the very place where I begin a new chapter. I want you to enter this new season not with fear, but with gratitude and gentle hope. Do not carry the mindset of the old season into the new door I am opening before you. Do not continue living like someone still bound by the past when I have called you into freedom. If the Son sets you free, you will be free indeed. As John 8:36 says, that freedom is not only release from old circumstances, it is a deep liberation within the soul, where you are no longer ruled by fear or by the mindset of lack. My beloved child, I am leading you into a journey where abundance will replace the mentality of scarcity, where peace will become greater than pressure, where joy will become stronger than painful memories. New connections will open before you. The right opportunities will arrive at the appointed time. Things that once seemed delayed will begin to move forward, not because fortune has suddenly changed, but because the time I have appointed is drawing near. So today, lift up your head and walk forward with an open heart. Do not fear the future anymore. I have already gone before you into every coming day. I am smoothing the rough places and preparing the path for your steps. And one day, when you look back upon the season of trial you have just passed through, you will understand that even your darkest days were quietly leading you to this radiant moment, the moment I call you out of waiting and into a new life filled with light, peace, and grace that never runs dry. My beloved child, I want you to understand deeply within your heart that every decision I release over your life is covered in perfect love and wisdom. I do not act as human beings do, rushing forward and leaving brokenness behind. Every circumstance I allow, every door I close or open, carries within it the purpose of healing, guiding, and drawing you closer to the good things I prepared long ago. There are moments when all you can see before you is delay, silence, or winding roads that make no sense. Yet, from where I see, everything is being woven together into a tapestry filled with light. And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him. As Romans 8:28 says, not one tear of yours has been forgotten, and not one season of pain has been meaningless within my plan. I know there were days when you wondered why everything had to take so long. There were times when you felt as though you were walking through a thick fog, unable to see the road ahead or hear the answers you longed for. But my beloved child, even within that silence, I was still at work, just as a potter quietly turns the clay within his hands. I have also been shaping you through the things you do not yet fully understand. The greatest transformations often do not happen in noise and commotion, but in the deep, quiet places where the soul learns to trust me more than its own emotions. Be still before the Lord and wait patiently for Him. As Psalm 37, 7 says, "Waiting is not wasted emptiness. It is the place where I prepare you for greater things." Remember David during the years he fled through the wilderness before ever sitting upon the throne. The promise had been anointed long before, yet its fulfillment came only after many seasons of trial. There were moments when David must have felt forgotten, but I never once took my eyes from him. It was in caves and wandering places that I taught him humility, patience, and the heart of a shepherd who depended fully upon me. In the same way, my beloved child, the roads you once called delays were actually necessary, preparations for the new chapter I am now opening before you. Now I want you to walk with the quiet confidence of a child who knows they are being led by their father. The decisions I am declaring over your life are not merely the ending of a difficult season. They are the doorway into restoration and new light. Some burdens will be lifted from your shoulders. Some fears will gradually lose their power. Doors that once stood silent and closed will begin to open at the appointed time. See, I have set before you an open door that no one can shut. As Revelation 3:8 says, "What I have appointed for you will not be delayed forever, because my timing is always precise and filled with grace." I want you to understand that your future is not held in the hands of chance or the instability of the world. Every detail of your journey is being guided by my loving hand. Some encounters that seemed accidental were actually prepared beforehand. Some doors were closed in order to keep you from entering places that did not belong to you. Some quiet days were given so that your soul could learn to hear my voice more clearly. Nothing has been abandoned to chaos. A man's heart plans his way, but the Lord directs his steps. As Proverbs 16:9 says, "When you look back, you will realize that I went before you in every stretch of the road." My beloved child, the silence that once caused you pain will one day become something you are grateful for. For it was within that silence that I healed the hidden places you did not even recognize. I taught you to stop depending upon the certainty of circumstances and to begin resting in the certainty of my love. There were things that, had I answered too quickly, you would have seen only the gift and missed the deeper work of growth within your soul. But now, after passing through those seasons, you will see that you have become stronger while still remaining gentle, more peaceful while still full of hope. Remember Elijah on Mount Horeb. After days of exhaustion and confusion, he expected to encounter me in the mighty wind, the earthquake, or the raging fire. But I was not in those violent things. I came in a still, gentle whisper. I want to teach you the same truth, not all of. My guidance comes through loud and dramatic signs. Sometimes I lead you through a quiet peace settling over your heart. Sometimes through a verse of scripture arriving at exactly the right moment. Sometimes through a door opening so naturally that you do not need to strain yourself to force it. And when you learn to listen with spiritual ears, you will realize that I have always been closer than you imagined. My beloved child, I am leading you into a new season where your heart will rest more deeply in my assurance. You do not need to live in fear that everything could collapse at any moment. What I build for you will stand firm upon grace and truth. You may not yet see the whole picture ahead, but you already have enough light for today's step. And that is all you need in order to continue walking with me. So today, release the need to understand everything immediately. Let my peace become the resting place of your soul. I am opening before you not only a new door, but also a new ability to see your life through the eyes of hope. The days ahead will not look like the old days anymore. For after the silence, I am leading you into a deeper conversation with my presence. After the trial, I am opening a path of restoration, and after every season of waiting, you will realize that heaven's decision was never late. It arrived at the perfect moment to lead you into the brightest chapter I prepared for you long ago. My beloved child, I know there have been days when you felt pressed from every side. One pressure after another has wearied your heart. And there were moments when you wondered why the journey had become so heavy. But my child, do not see those winds as signs of abandonment. Many times, pressure is the very signal that a new season is drawing near. When the earth begins to tremble before a great rain, it is not a sign of death and dryness, but the announcement that new life is preparing to rise. I am doing the same thing in your life. What you have just passed through was not meant to destroy you, but to enlarge you for the greater things I am about to place into your hands. After you have suffered a little while, the God of all grace will himself restore you and make you strong, firm, and steadfast. As 1 Peter 5:10 says, look at a great tree in the midst of a storm. People often think strong winds bring only danger, but those very winds force the roots to grow deeper into the earth. If a tree had never faced strong winds, its roots might remain shallow and easily uprooted when real storms arrive. In the same way, my beloved child, your days of testing were not meant to weaken you, but to deepen your faith in me. Some strengths can only be formed through seasons when you must keep walking even after your strength feels almost gone. Some spiritual beauty appears only after you choose to stand firm instead of giving up. The one who endures to the end will be saved. As Matthew 24:13 says, that endurance is not born in comfort. It is refined during the days when you must learn to trust me more than your own emotions. I want you to understand that every trial you pass through is like a gateway into a new territory of grace. No one is entrusted with greater responsibility before first learning how to stand firm in small and difficult things. If I gave every blessing too early, before your heart was mature enough, the very beauty of that gift could become a burden that causes you to lose your way. That is why I have used seasons of pressure to strengthen your inner foundation, so that when you enter the new season, you will no longer be easily shaken by storms. Remember Joseph in the prison of Egypt. Those years of betrayal and being forgotten were not the end of his story. It was in that dark place that I prepared his heart for the position of influence that would later save an entire nation. Without those seasons of testing, he would not have been ready to carry the great responsibility I intended for him. My beloved child, the blessing I am preparing for you is not only meant to comfort you after pain. I desire to use you as a source of life for others. There are souls who will find hope through your story. There are people who are falling down now who will rise again when they see how I carried you through difficult seasons. Therefore, I am not only bringing you out of trial, I am forming within you the character of someone who can carry light to others. You are the light of the world. As Matthew 5:14 says, the brightest light is often seen most clearly after the darkest night. I know there were moments when you thought you no longer had enough strength. There were nights when you wanted nothing more than rest from all the pressure crushing your mind. Yet even in those weakest moments, I was still beside you. I saw every time you continued praying while your heart was full of confusion. I saw every step you forced yourself to take forward, even while your soul was exhausted. And I have overlooked none of it. The Lord is near to the brokenhearted. As Psalm 18 says, the tears you swallowed in silence have not been forgotten before me. They are watering the seeds of the new season that is about to bloom. Remember David before the day he became king. Before wearing the crown, he had to face the wilderness, relentless pursuit, and the darkness of caves. Yet it was in those very places that he learned how to depend on me, how to lead with mercy, and how to keep his heart soft in the midst of battle. In the same way, my beloved child, these days of pressure are revealing within you a spiritual strength that even you did not realize you carried. Not the strength of cold hardness, but the strength of someone who can still hold on to faith, gentleness, and hope in the midst of adversity. I do not want you to fear the winds blowing through your life. They have not come to sweep you away from my plan. They are helping your roots grow deeper into my love and truth. You may not yet see everything clearly, but one day you will look back and understand that your hardest days became the very places where your soul grew the strongest. Those who have never been tested often collapse when they enter seasons of greater responsibility. But those who have been refined in hidden places will walk more steadily when new doors begin to open. My beloved child, the new season is closer than you think. Light has already begun to break through after the long darkness. I am not only bringing you out of pressure, I am leading you into a wider place where you will live with greater peace, maturity, and influence than before. The things that once filled you with fear will no longer rule your heart. I am replacing anxiety with steadiness, weariness with renewed strength, and confusion with the light of guidance. So today, rise with a gentle courage. Do not look at your trials as enemies trying to destroy you. See them instead as the refining fire purifying the gold within your soul. When you pass through the waters, I will be with you. When you walk through the fire, you shall not be burned. As Isaiah 43:2 says, I have never left you in difficult seasons, and I will not leave you in the season of blessing now opening before you. And one day, you will see that the very place which once caused you the deepest pain became the foundation for the most beautiful radiance I had prepared for your life. My beloved child, I want you to learn how to rest within my timing. For my timing is never late, nor is it ever hurried without wisdom. There have been seasons when you looked at everything through your limited human eyes and wondered why the door had not yet opened, why the thing you prayed for still remained within silence. But my child, I am guiding your life like a conductor leading a great symphony. Every person, every circumstance, every opportunity has its own place within my arrangement. If one musical note sounded too early or too late, the beauty of the entire song would be lost. That is why I care not only about what I give you, but also about the exact moment in which it arrives, so that it may come to you in its fullest beauty. He has made everything beautiful in its time. As Ecclesiastes 3:11 says, when you understand this, your soul will stop fighting against time and begin to walk in the quiet confidence of faith. There are threads I have been quietly connecting long before you ever realized it. An encounter that seemed accidental, a door that closed only to lead you toward a better one, an idea planted within your heart at the precise moment your soul needed fresh light. I am weaving all these things together with loving precision, just as a weaver sees the entire tapestry while someone standing nearby sees only scattered threads. I also see the complete picture of your life while you can see only small portions before you. But, my beloved child, not one detail is meaningless. A person plans their way, but the Lord directs their steps. As Proverbs 16:9 says, I am the one fitting every piece together at the right time, so that beauty may be revealed. Remember Esther in the king's palace. At times she may have thought she was only a young woman carried into a strange place filled with confusing events. Yet I had arranged every step, every person, and every moment so that, at the appointed time, she would rise to save an entire people. If viewed only moment by moment, many things seemed random. But from my perspective, everything was woven together with a purpose full of light. In the same way, my beloved child, there are things I prepared for you long before you even knew how to pray for them. There are connections I am forming to lead you where you need to go. So do not fear the waiting seasons. Sometimes I am using that very time to align everything perfectly according to my will. My beloved child, the flow of blessing I am opening over your life is not a passing rain that disappears after only a moment. I do not give you good things merely so your soul may taste a brief moment of joy before returning to dryness again. What I desire is to make your life into soil continually watered by grace, so that every part of you may grow in life and light. There were seasons when you lived feeling as though you had to carry everything by yourself. But now I am teaching you to enter the rhythm of receiving and trusting. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. As Psalm 23:1 says, when you truly believe that I am your source, your heart will stop living in fear of lack and begin to rest in the fullness of my love. I want you to understand that abundance in my kingdom does not begin first with possessions, but with the condition of the soul. There are people who own many things yet still live with restless hearts, always afraid of losing what they have. But the one who knows how to remain in my presence carries a peace that no circumstance can steal away. That peace becomes fertile ground where wisdom, creativity, relationships, and provision can flourish naturally. Just as a tree planted beside streams of water does not struggle anxiously to survive, but quietly draws from the source beneath it, I also want your soul to learn how to draw continually from me. Blessed is the one who trusts in the Lord. They shall be like a tree planted by the waters. As Jeremiah 17:7-8 says, there are blessings I am releasing into your life that will not come through striving, but through alignment with my timing and my peace. The world often teaches you to grasp harder, rush faster, and fear being left behind. But I am teaching you another way, the way of grace. When Isaac sowed during a season of famine, people may have thought it made no sense. Yet because my hand rested upon him, he reaped 100-fold. In the same way, my beloved child, when your life is rooted in trust rather than fear, even difficult seasons cannot stop the increase I have prepared for you. I am able to bring streams into deserts and life into barren places. You will begin to notice that what once exhausted you no longer controls you in the same way. Your thoughts will no longer constantly race with anxiety about tomorrow. Your hands will learn how to work faithfully without carrying the crushing weight of fear. Your heart will slowly discover the freedom of knowing that you do not have to force every outcome into existence. I am the one opening doors, arranging connections, and breathing life into the things I have appointed for you. Your responsibility is not to live in endless strain, but to remain close to me and walk faithfully in the light I place before you each day. Remember the widow at Zarephath. In her eyes, she possessed almost nothing, only a handful of flour and a little oil. Yet when she trusted my word and opened her hand instead of clinging tightly to fear, I caused her supply not to run dry through the entire famine. I am teaching you the same truth. Scarcity closes the heart, but trust opens it, and the open heart becomes a place where my provision can continually flow. Give, and it will be given to you, a good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. As Luke 6:38 says, I want your life to become like a river that keeps flowing, not a fearful hand that keeps gripping tightly. My beloved child, there are dreams within you that I have not forgotten. There are gifts I planted long ago that are still alive beneath the surface. Even if discouragement once made you think they had faded away, I am breathing upon those places again. Some opportunities will return in new forms. Some ideas will awaken with fresh clarity. Some doors you thought were permanently closed will open again in ways you never expected. For my grace is not limited by lost time. I know how to restore years that felt wasted and bring beauty out of what once seemed broken. I will restore to you the years the locust has eaten. As Joel 2:25 says, so today, my beloved child, let your soul remain open before me. Do not shrink back into fear or old habits of striving. Lift your eyes beyond what you can currently see. I am leading you into a life where peace will become stronger than pressure, where trust will become deeper than fear, and where blessing will no longer feel distant and uncertain, but like a living stream continually flowing through your days. And as you walk in that rhythm of grace, you will realize that the greatest richness I give you is not merely what rests in your hands, but the transformation taking place within your heart, a heart that has finally learned how to rest, receive, and flourish in my everlasting love. I am bringing you the things you need at the appointed time, not only material provision, but also clarity of mind, the right people, and opportunities opened by grace. You will begin to notice new ideas arriving gently like the first light of dawn. Doors that once remained silent and closed will suddenly open in the most natural way. Certain people will enter your life not to wound you or pull you down, but to support you, work alongside you, and help build something beautiful with you. I am placing every piece into its proper position. Two are better than one, because they have a good reward for their labor. As Ecclesiastes 4:9 says, I did not create you to walk through this journey alone, but my beloved child. I want you to understand that blessings are not given only for you to keep to yourself. Water that remains trapped eventually becomes stagnant. It stays fresh and full of life only when it continues to flow. I am teaching you to become a faithful steward of the things I place into your hands. That means receiving with humility, using with wisdom, and sowing with generosity. A word of encouragement you offer, a quiet act of help, an opportunity you create for someone else, a forgiveness you choose to release instead of holding on to bitterness. All of these are spiritual seeds, and I assure you that no seed of love planted in faith will ever fail to bear fruit. Whoever sows generously will also reap generously. As 2 Corinthians 9:6 says, in my kingdom, giving in love never makes you poorer. It enlarges the flow of grace through your life. Remember the little boy with 5 loaves and 2 fish. In human hands, it seemed far too small to make any difference. But once placed into my hands with a willing heart, it became enough to feed thousands. In the same way, my beloved child, you may think what you possess is still small, but I am not searching for abundance according to the world's standards. I am looking for a heart that trusts me and is willing to be used by me. And when you place what you have into my hands, I will multiply it beyond anything you imagined possible. I also want you to learn how to stay in rhythm with the flow I am pouring over your life. There will be days when your emotions rise and fall like clouds in the sky. Sometimes you will feel full of hope, yet at other moments your heart may waver because of circumstances around you. But do not allow temporary emotions to determine your direction. Emotions are like waves that shift with the wind, but faith is the solid rock that keeps your steps steady. The righteous shall live by faith. As Hebrews 10:38 says, I do not want you to walk according to what you feel in a passing moment, but according to the truth that I am still with you and guiding you day by day. There is a peaceful inner strength I have planted within your heart, and I want you to guard it like someone protecting a precious garden. When you keep your heart within the light, the flow of grace will continue growing deeper and gentler within you. But if you allow anxiety, comparison, or fear to take hold of your mind, your soul will easily become troubled and restless. Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. As Proverbs 4:23 says, everything beautiful I am building within you will remain secure as your heart abides in peace and trust. My beloved child, I want you to realize that many doors open not only because the time has come, but because your heart has become ready to walk through them. There were things I did not yet give you before, not because I was denying you, but because I was shaping within you a deeper maturity. Just as a key fits only the lock it was designed for, blessings also require a heart properly formed so that you may carry them without losing yourself. And now, I am making your heart softer, wiser, and more peaceful, so that you may enter this new season with stability and grace. Remember Solomon when he was given the opportunity to ask for what he desired most. He did not first ask for power or riches. He asked for wisdom to lead the people with justice. Because his heart sought what was right before me, I added many other things to him as well. I want you to walk with that same kind of heart, not merely seeking blessing, but seeking the wisdom to use that blessing according to my purpose. Then you will see that each time you choose trust instead of panic, the flow of grace in your life deepens a little more. Each time you choose generosity instead of closing yourself off and holding tightly, your soul opens a little wider. And each time you follow my voice, instead of running after the pressure of the world, the peace within you becomes stronger and deeper, like a river that is not easily disturbed by strong winds. So today, my beloved child, open your hands wide to receive the flow I am releasing. Do not fear that you are not capable of entering this new season. I am the one leading you. I have placed the key in your hand, and I am also shaping your heart to fit the door before you. Walk forward in humility, peace, and gentle faith, for what I am opening for you is not only a season of outward abundance, but a new life in which your soul becomes a river carrying life, hope, and light to many others. My beloved child, I want you to see your soul as a garden into which I have planted many seeds of light. In that garden, faith is like a clear stream flowing quietly beneath the soil, nourishing every branch, every flower, and every sprout that has not yet bloomed. Your emotions are like flowers that change color with the seasons, some days radiant beneath the morning sun, other days closing their petals beneath a sorrowful rain. But my child, the flowers will remain alive as long as the water beneath them does not run dry. In the same way, when your faith remains rooted in me, the temporary changes of emotion will not be able to make your soul wither. They will be like a tree planted by the waters. Its leaves are always green. As Jeremiah 17:8 says, I do not condemn you for the days when your heart feels low. I simply want you to learn how to return to my living water and be renewed again. Some people try to control their emotions by their own strength, but the more they strain, the more exhausted they become. I am different. I teach you to care for your soul through gentle yet enduring rhythms. A small word of gratitude when you wake, a moment of deep breathing to remember that I am still near, a smile you offer to yourself instead of seeing only your shortcomings, a short line written down to remember the blessings of the day. These things may seem very simple, yet they are watering the garden within you every day. Remember Isaac when he reopened the old wells in the dry land. Others had filled them in, but he patiently opened each well again so that the water could flow once more. In the same way, my beloved child, I am teaching you to reopen the wells of peace, gratitude, and hope within your heart, so your soul no longer has to live in dryness. As you begin to keep these small practices, the waves within your heart will gradually grow calmer. Your mind will no longer be so easily pulled away by outward changes, and it is in that stillness that you will hear my voice more clearly. There are subtle leadings that a restless soul cannot recognize. Just as a lake reflects the sky only when its waters are still, your heart will also reflect my light when it learns to rest in peace. Be still and know that I am God. As Psalm 46:10 says, I do not always speak through dramatic things. Often I come like a gentle breeze moving through the garden of your soul in the early morning. My beloved child, every small choice you make within, my light is laying stones upon the path of your future. A word of forgiveness instead of holding on to bitterness. A decision to remain faithful even when you cannot yet see the results. A step taken in faith while your emotions still tremble. These things are like shining stones being placed along the journey of your life, and day by day, You will realize that you are walking upon a path growing steadier beneath your feet. Your word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path. As Psalm 119:105 says, I do not ask you to see the entire journey. I only invite you to continue walking beneath the light I provide for today. Every morning, I place before you a new opportunity to choose what is good. You may allow fear to guide your steps, or you may let faith take your hand and lead you forward. When the dawn rises, whisper gently to your soul, I am not alone today. I am being guided. And when evening falls, close your day with gratitude instead of counting only what still feels unfinished. It is this rhythm that will keep your heart pure and gentle within a world filled with haste. Remember David, who offered songs of praise to me even during seasons of fleeing and battle. He did not wait until everything became perfect before worshiping. He chose gratitude in the middle of hardship. And because of that, his soul always found its way back to peace. Then there will be moments when you realize I am sending you very gentle signs. An encounter arriving at the exact moment your soul needs encouragement. A verse of scripture touching the deepest place of pain within you. A door opening naturally after a long season that seemed hopelessly closed. Some may call these coincidences, but my beloved child, those who walk closely with me will recognize them as the footprints of grace walking beside them. I am teaching you to see life not as a meaningless chain of passing days, but as a journey filled with touches of heavenly love. Faith does not separate you from ordinary life. It causes ordinary life to shine more brightly. When you walk in faith, the family meal is no longer merely a repeated routine, but a place where love is nourished. Daily work is no longer only a heavy responsibility, but a place where faithfulness and creativity are sown. Even your relationships will begin to change, because a peaceful heart carries the atmosphere of peace wherever it goes. Blessed are the peacemakers. As Matthew 5:9 says, I want you to become someone who brings that gentle refreshment everywhere you walk. My beloved child, what brings me joy is not that you never experience emotional struggles, but that in the midst of every change, you continue to keep your trust in me. I rejoice when I see you peaceful in the midst of movement, gentle under pressure, and hopeful in the middle of uncertainty. These are the signs of a soul maturing in love. Just as a tree grows not through loud noise, but through the quiet flow of life deep within it, you also are growing in the same way each day, deeper, steadier, and brighter. So today, my beloved child, continue tending the garden of your soul through small things, filled with light. Let faith continue to become the living water, nourishing you from within. Let gratitude become the fragrance of every day you live. And then you will see that blessing is no longer something that visits only for a moment. It becomes a river that remains, refreshing your work, your relationships, and even the dreams I planted within your heart long ago. My beloved child, I want you to know that not a single moment of your life passes outside of my gentle presence. From the first breath you take when you awaken in the morning to the final moment of the day when your eyes close in weariness, I am still there, quiet yet full of love, unseen yet never distant. Your life is not a chain of random days woven together in chaos. I am weaving it like a skilled craftsman creating a precious tapestry. There are bright threads of joy, and there are darker threads from quiet seasons. Yet all of them are joining together to form a beauty that you cannot yet fully see. All the days ordained for me were written in your book before one of them came to be. As Psalm 139:16 says, what you call unexpected has never been beyond my understanding. There are times when it seems to you that you are only taking very small and ordinary steps. A brief conversation, a decision that appears insignificant, a moment when you choose silence instead of answering in anger. But, my beloved child, It is precisely within those small things that I am guiding the current of your life toward the place I have prepared. The world often thinks great turning points must arrive with loud and dramatic signs. But many of the most important changes begin through a very gentle choice of the heart. Remember Ruth when she chose to follow Naomi back to Bethlehem. It was only a step of faithfulness and love. Yet that single step placed her within the lineage through which the Savior would come. In the same way, the things you do today may seem small in your own eyes, but I can already see the road they are opening before you. I am carefully shaping every part of you with great tenderness. Some doors have not yet opened, not because I rejected you, but because I am preparing you to fit what is waiting ahead. A key maker must shape every ridge of the key with precision so that it can open the right door. I am doing the same with your soul. The seasons of testing, the quiet waiting, the times you have had to learn patience, all of these are making your heart more mature, more gentle, and more wise. The Lord will fulfill His purpose for me. As Psalm 138:8 says, I have not abandoned the work I began within you. My beloved child, I do not always lead you through loud signs that everyone immediately recognizes. Many times, I guide you through a quiet peace resting upon your heart. Sometimes, it is a sudden clarity in the middle of mental confusion. Sometimes it is a gentle prompting that helps you know what words to speak or which direction to choose. Sometimes, it is a deep and peaceful certainty that allows your soul to rest, even without seeing the full future ahead. Remember the prophet Elijah on Mount Horeb. I was not in the mighty wind, the earthquake, or the fire. I came in a still small whisper. I still lead you in the same way through the gentle breeze of wisdom and peace. My sheep hear my voice. As John 10:27 says, those who remain close to me will gradually learn to recognize my voice among the countless noises of the world. There are decisions that appear ordinary, yet they become doors through which grace can flow. A message you send with kindness instead of irritation. An appointment you postpone at the right moment to avoid what is not yet aligned. A sincere thank you spoken with a genuine smile. None of these things are small in my eyes. Through these gentle acts, your soul is becoming aligned with my heart. A gentle answer turns away wrath. As Proverbs 15:1 says, I want you to understand that spiritual guidance is often not found in distant mysteries, but in the way you choose to live with love and awareness in the midst of everyday life. That is why I teach you to hold on to the small signs of grace as someone carefully treasures precious pearls. Remember the moments when you felt peace, even though you thought panic would overwhelm you. The encounters that arrived at exactly the right time. The words of encouragement that appeared when you were close to giving up. The doors that opened naturally without you having to force them. As you keep these things in your heart, you will gradually begin to see the steady continuity of my hand throughout your journey. Remember, when the people of Israel walked through the wilderness, I led them with a pillar of cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night. Each day they watched for those signs to know whether to continue walking or to stop and rest. In the same way, I am leaving signs of peace along your path to guide your steps day by day. My beloved child, I want you to walk with a lighter heart. Do not think that you must understand everything before you can live according to my purpose. I do not require you to see the entire picture. I simply invite you to follow the light I provide for today. And as you keep your heart in peace, you will realize that every small step is bringing you closer to the things I prepared long ago. Just as a river does not struggle to find its way to the sea because it is carried by the natural current, your life will also gradually move in the right direction as you remain within my presence. I delight in seeing you learn how to slow down and listen, learn how to remain gentle in a hurried world, and learn how to choose love even within ordinary moments. It is through those gentle choices that the road before you is widening, and one day, when you look back, You will realize that the things which seem small today were actually the shining stones I used to pave the blessed journey of your life. So today, my beloved child, continue walking in that gentle awareness. Let peace guide you instead of fear. Let gratitude keep your eyes fixed upon the light, and trust that my hand is still upon even the smallest details of your life, guiding, arranging, and loving you with a patience that never runs dry. My beloved child, I want you to look back upon the journey you have walked, not with regret or heaviness, but with eyes filled with gentle understanding. Not a single day of your life has been forgotten within the flow of time. Not a single experience has been meaningless. What has passed behind you is not merely the ashes of old seasons, but is quietly becoming fertile ground for the new things I am preparing to grow within you. Yesterday secretly prepared the way for today, and today itself is silently laying the foundation for the tomorrow you cannot yet see. And we know that all things work together for good to those who love God. As Romans 8:28 says, I do not allow any fragment of your story to be wasted. I am gathering every piece together to weave a tapestry filled with hope and light. There were seasons when you thought you were only wandering in circles through weariness and waiting. There were turns in the road that made you question why I allowed them to happen. But my beloved child, a potter does not shape a vessel only through easy movements. It is through the gentle pressure, the careful adjustments that seem at first to distort the old shape, that the vessel becomes more beautiful and more enduring. I am doing the same with your life. The failures you once wept over, the silent seasons you mistook for abandonment, the times your heart had to learn patience in the midst of uncertainty. All of these are becoming part of the deep and hidden growth I am forming within you. Suffering produces perseverance, character and character, hope. As Romans 5:3-4 says, no trial came only to wound you. I am using them to enlarge your capacity to carry light. Remember Joseph when he looked back upon the years of being sold into slavery and imprisoned unjustly. What others intended to destroy him, I used to prepare him for the role of saving many lives. Without the days in the pit and the prison, Joseph could hardly have developed the humility and wisdom necessary for the position I was about to entrust to him. In the same way, my beloved child, there are things you do not fully understand today. But the day will come when you look back and realize that the most difficult roads were the very places where I was quietly building the deepest strength and spiritual beauty within you. I want you to stop seeing your past as a burden you must drag behind you. Instead, see it as a treasury of lessons refined through tears and grace. The pages that have already been turned are not erased. They have become the strong foundation upon which the new chapter of your life will be written more clearly and brightly. Just as an embroiderer uses even the darkest threads to make the radiant pattern stand out more beautifully, I am also using both the sorrowful seasons and the joyful days to complete the masterpiece of your life. You turned my mourning into dancing. As Psalm 30:11 says, what once wounded you will no longer be chains. It will become a testimony to my restoring power. My beloved child, learn to be grateful even for the unfinished parts of yesterday, not because pain itself is good, but because I was with you through every moment of that pain and did not allow it to destroy you. Gratitude will help you release the heavy grip of regret. When your hands stop clinging tightly to what is behind you, they become open enough to receive the new things I am bringing into your life. Some people remain standing before old doors because they are afraid to believe that I am opening a new and more beautiful door ahead of them. But I want you to walk with the lightness of someone who knows that nothing truly precious is ever lost under my care. I am leading you into a new vision, a place where you no longer see life as disconnected moments, but begin to recognize the golden thread running through your entire journey. A meeting that once seemed accidental, a failure that once caused you deep pain, a prayer that was not answered immediately. All of these are being connected together far more intricately than you realize. Remember the people of Israel in the wilderness. There were days when they saw nothing but sand, heat, and waiting. But I could already see the promised land ahead, and every step was bringing them closer to the place I had prepared. The same is true for you. Even if today you cannot fully understand the meaning of everything, I still see the entire path clearly. The timeline of your life is like a song I am composing with patience and love. The lower notes of former days are not discarded. They give the future melody greater depth and beauty. A song made only of crescendos would lose the richness of emotion. It is the quiet pauses and the deeper tones that make the melody complete. I am adjusting every rhythm and refining every note within your soul so that the song of your life may sound according to the harmony I ordained long ago. He put a new song in my mouth. As Psalm 43 says, and even the things you once believed were out of tune will eventually blend into the music of restoration and hope. My beloved child, I rejoice to see that you are beginning to understand that you do not enter the future empty-handed. You carry with you strength refined through trials, gentleness born from wounds, wisdom gained through seasons of waiting, and compassion formed through the very pain you once endured. These things have not diminished you. They have made you deeper, softer, and steadier. So today, let your heart rest in this certainty. I am using every part of your journey to lead you towards something better. No seed you planted in tears has been forgotten. No faithful step has been wasted. And right now, as you begin to feel the gentle warmth of a new season touching your soul, know that I am lifting you to a higher place, where the promises once planted in faith will begin to bloom beneath the light of my everlasting faithfulness.